If you're a colored person in the United States nowadays, you actually have more opportunities than a white person.
But if you look
and if you're a black woman,
but
even
if you
more
look at it,
opportunities.
if you look at it, when black dollars stopped spending money, that one day they decided to move people up in their companies because they had less than about 2% that was anywhere from the first level.
What?
Because the reality, it's the reality of the world that we live in.
What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that the reason that they seem lazy, it's not that they're choosing to be that way. They're trying to work hard, but they're not getting those opportunities. All they can focus on is trying to fix their lives and benefit themselves financially. So it's really harder to try to work out when you have to work 2 to 3 jobs and you make no time for yourself but sleeping, eating, and working.
I hear a bunch of wow.
But it's not wow.
That's all I hear. It's like a bunch of crying. Like,
It's not wow. It's reality.
No, it's a bunch of fucking crybaby
It's
shit.
reality.
No, it's not. Because here's the thing that a lot of you guys keep making the mistake of making. When I was an agent and I was on the border and I saw people fucking crawling to come to the United States, being in the back of trucks, dying through heat exhaustion, getting fucking drowning in the Rio Grande River, etc. These people are dying to come to the United States to have the same opportunity that you guys are fucking crying and bitching about right now.
Okay, so how about this?
Oh, let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
There is no fucking excuse to be broke, fat, a loser in the United States because there's people that literally die for that opportunity. But you guys want to sit here and talk about systematic racism. No, it's fucked up. HBCUs because of racism, blah, blah, blah. People died to come and get the opportunities that you guys are bitching about right now, which is ridiculous because I've seen children die on their way here to have these opportunities that you guys are whining about right now. At the end of the day, the United States is still the best country in the world, whatever you guys want to say. And I would say we've corrected a lot of these racism things that you guys are talking about now. And people of color and people that are different have more opportunity than the same white people that oppressed you guys systematically for all these years that you keep bitching about. That's the problem. Is y'all keep crying about the past. But what about now? Now, black people have more opportunities than ever before. If you apply for a job and he applies for a job, you're probably going to get that job, even though you might be less qualified than him because he's a white male. That's the reality. So I don't want to hear no more fucking bitching from people of color. At all, especially if you're born here in the United States.
And you mentioned opportunity. You know how many immigrants come here and take over because you guys are lazy? And it's not because they are
immigrants come here and laugh at the black community because you guys say all this dumb shit.
We're black too.
We literally laugh at y'all.
We made a choice. So you know what? I don't want to be poor. My family's poor back home. I want to change that.
Yeah.
It's a choice you got to make.
It is a choice. But like, for example, my uncle, he is a lawyer. He went to school, did all of that. He went into a white law firm. They did not give him any cases because of the simple fact that he's black. So so the reality,
he might have been less qualified.
It's not less qualified.
How do you know that?
It's not less qualified at all.
Based on what? He was a brand new lawyer, right?
Because
was he new?
No. And what I'm saying is he went to a different law firm and got everything that he needed because that one was more diverse.
You said he went to that law firm, which means he's new.
Yeah, he probably got like.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
The reality,
y'all just make excuses for black people.
There's not an excuse. It's the fact that people can get depressed and focus more. No, it's true though. People can get depressed and focus more on the fact that they're not getting
racism, obesity.
It's true though. Like men too. Men when they're with women and they're not providing and doing what they're supposed to, they get depressed, they get fat.
There's also people that get depressed and get lost to work when they get hand in hand as well.
People lose the ability to do anything.
He didn't get opportunity at his first place. But what did he do? He moved somewhere else. And what did he get? More opportunity. So it's still a choice. So ultimately speaking, yeah, he didn't get the case.
But that still proves the case that it's hard to find opportunity.
He made a choice to make a change. Ultimately speaking, is the person who gives a fuck?
But it was
he made a change.
Harder.
It's still harder when it would have been easier.
Who cares? Life is not easy. Life is not easy.
But life has varying levels of difficulty depending on who you are.
Okay, wait, hold on. Explain to me varying levels of difficulty. So explain to me how immigrants can come here, don't speak the language, figure it out, go to college, get education. Why are black Africans, right, from Africa doing way better than African Americans?
Because
it's not race.
The people that are willing to cross the fucking Atlantic Ocean, you're already selecting for a hyper. Do you think poor people from fucking Kenya are coming to the United States?
They are.
You think poor? No, they're not. It's typically Nigerians in the United States are the highest immigrant group of PhDs, more than white people, more than Chinese people, more than anybody else. Typically, the people that are immigrating from across the ocean come to the United States are not the poor fucking people in the villages that we see on fucking commercials. Okay, no, don't say a lot. That's not true. That's not true. Then the stats betray you. That's not true. Some of your most highly educated groups of people in the United States are people from Kenya, are people from Nigeria, are people from these African countries because they're all the wealthiest people that are coming over with high degrees, with a lot of education. I don't know what you're talking about.
They might be, you might say, oh yeah, they have money in their country, whatever. They're still poor though. In the grand scheme of things, they're still poor.
Especially Wikipedia, like income level per like fucking ethnic group.
But my point is this. Well, Africans can come here, right? And they're black too. Why are they successful and they're not dealing with it?
Because they're black. They're not African American.
Oh, so you're telling me the police know the difference between Dikembe and fucking Jamal?
The police are not the main reason why African Americans have trouble in the United States.
That's what they cry about a lot of times.
What's the main reason? The main reason is a history of segregation of the country and a devaluing of a family's ability to build generational wealth.
It is color.
No, it's not fuck color. No. The problem is the history you have in your family.
When I go into a job and it's me and him, what do they see?
This is the level one.
It doesn't matter if I'm from Africa.
This is the level one racist talk. Nobody gives a fuck about this. This is why, like, the experience of an African immigrant in the United States is way different than the experience of an African American. They're two totally. If you're an African immigrant, you might as well be white or fucking European.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Just what part of that do you understand? If you're an African immigrant coming to the United States, your outcomes in life, the places that you live, the education you have, you're more on par with an upper class white person than you are with a person who's a descendant of
the biggest difference is the mindset. It's not the circumstances,
it's not the mindset.
environment.
It's the families that you come from. Somebody that comes from a family that's driven enough to get their children or themselves to move to the United States from Africa, this is a highly driven family. This is a lot different than somebody whose great-grandparents weren't allowed to buy a house in the city because they were redlined out by a bank in the United States.
Highly driven is a mindset.
Bro. Literally speaking, I get what you're saying, but you can't say that because people might get inspired from watching a TV show. They may see a friend. You don't know why they came here. So you can't really say that.
No, but I'm saying you're selecting for the people that were inspired enough to come over.
I mean, typically speaking, if people coming over here, it's because they're going through intense hardship, and the risk of coming over here is worth more than the pain that they're in where they're currently coming from, right?
Well,
and so... No, you go on. You're fine.
Well, I was going to say, like, it's not the people that are suffering the most hardship that are able to make that move. That's a really big move coming from Africa to the United States. An average poor person that lives in fucking sub-Saharan Africa is not like, oh, I'm going to go try my luck in the U.S.
I'm not talking about resources. I'm saying the mentality. Like somebody literally needs to be like, okay, me doing this and making this crazy move is worth more of a risk than me staying in my current situation, which is of